some have asked, hey, what has Steve been doing up on his roof? 12 solar panels up here, trying to be as off-grid possible as we possibly can when we hit the road. And then the other thing I ended up doing is I put a silicone coating over the entire roof, just as an additional weather coating, waterproofing measure. Again, I'm really cautious about having water leaks on the trailer. You've already seen the solar panels up on the roof, so I'm going down into our basement area. And up on one of the walls is kind of the brains of the whole situation here. First of all, the solar comes down to a solar charger. Everything at this point is 24 volts, and then that feeds down into a link distributor. Those wires that you see coming up are from the batteries. I'll show those in a bit, but I have 8 lithium batteries hooked up initially, 2 of them in series to go to a 24 volt system, then in parallel. And they all join in that distributor, which goes next into a shunt. And what the shunt does is measures the amount of power that's going out or coming in. So that's the measurement tool for the power. And then another distributor, and that distributor is all the power going out. So in this, from the left-hand side is the batteries, power coming in through a shunt, and then the power going out. And then there's heavier wires underneath, and those are from the inverters, and the inverters also will charge. So it'll come into that side and then feed back through this distributor and then back into the batteries. Up above, since the system is a 24 volt system I have installed, those two transformers essentially transfer everything down to 12 volts. And then I have panels that have a 24 volt system and then a 12 volt system. So it kind of seems a bit complicated, but we have it at 24 volt system, so there's less loss in the wires, and I can actually use a smaller wire size in here. But it does eventually go down to 12 volts to feed the rest of the RV. Inside the wooden box is our battery bank. It's 800 amp hours of lithium. We chose lithium 1. We don't have to worry about the wet cells and maintaining the batteries. They have a 10-year warranty. They can be discharged more than your wet cell batteries, and they charge back up faster. And they're actually in the heated area here. Lithium batteries don't like to charge when it's below freezing. Our basement in the RV is heated, and we do have some holes where you get a little bit of ventilation in there. Again, they don't need ventilation. They can be mounted in any way. They can be upside down on their side. But I want to keep some ventilation going in primarily to help keep them warm in freezing weather. Again, a lot of wire running through there. Is actually a pretty simple system though. Up front in our generator bay, the front of the fifth wheel, I have 2 50 amp inverters. Actually, they're 50 amp pass-through. This is a 50 amp trailer. When they go into an inverter mode, I get about 20 amps out of each leg on here, so I roughly have 40 amps depending upon what's running. These also operate as chargers, so it keeps the battery bank charged up. The other nice thing with these inverters is when you have a power outage, they automatically switch over just within milliseconds to battery power. I know last night we had at least 2 power outages. We had no idea. These just automatically switch over and take the load from the batteries. It does send an alarm and an email that says, hey, you've had a power outage. But they work out pretty well.